I was never much into going to the office very much that way. I mean, I was, well set up here at home with my office and everything. I thought legality to have the real estate broker office, you had to have a brick and mortar in Washington.
yeah, and that's not the case anymore. So what we have is actually we have a PO box that acts as our brick and mortar, and it's up on Dexter Avenue. I think it's actually being moved this weekend it's at the Regis Executive Suites up on Dexter. I think it's being moved to Western Avenue, just down the street.
Okay.
And so it's just a PO box. So yeah, we are able to work out of our homes without any problem, at all on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do have this virtual world, which is called eXp World, and it's in the cloud. It would be like, I connotate it to going on to the University of Washington, like the Cascadia campus there by North Creek in Bothell. I don't know if you've been on that campus at all. I mean, even like the UW campus or a North Seattle Community College type campus.
Okay.
Three-dimensional. You create an avatar. Let's just say in your likeness. I don't have a lot of hair, but in the world, I have some hair. But you can set yourself up in a business suit or as a jogger or whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And with glasses on, glasses off. So there's a lot of and so you've created your own person. And so this three-dimensional person then walks through the campus. You can go into accounting. You can go into the state broker room. You can talk to the designated broker, the managing broker. For instance, I give a presentation to hundreds of eXp agents from all over the world once a week. So next Wednesday at 7 a.m. our time, I will be in the main auditorium, and I will be giving a presentation just as if you were in, let's just say, your old high school auditorium.
Okay.
And this auditorium, you can shrink or expand. I mean, if you've got 1,000 people, you can expand it to accommodate all these people. And you're up at the podium, just like you and I are talking. Mm-hmm. And I can be giving my presentation. You can be raising your hand, or you can be saying, "Hey, Jeff, I have a question." So there's literally nothing that you can do in this virtual world that you can't do in a brick and mortar.
Okay.
As I say facetiously, you just can't go to the bathroom. But everything else, I can share a video with you. You and I could have a private conversation, or we could open it up to everyone. We can whiteboard. So literally, it's just like going into a college campus and just having full access, full transparency.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in the world about once a week. I don't spend a lot of time there. There's others like executives that are there probably morning to evening,
mm-hmm.
conducting their business. But for me, as a managing broker, I just go in once a week. I might pick up some education. I might be giving some education myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the collaboration that's pretty cool. At Remax, we're kind of everyone for themselves. It's like, hey, if I share my listing presentation, I'll have to shoot you or something or other, right? You're my competition or whatever. But if you were to go into the world and say, hey, I need help with my listing presentation, you'd probably have hundreds of listing presentations just sent to you. I mean, your inbox would probably be full. So it's really refreshing that way, that there's just a lot of, the fabric of the organization is very collaborative. We help each other. everybody owns stock in the company, so it's kind of like, hey, we want to help each other keep that stock value up, and create a legacy. So so I've been with eXp for just a little over 3 years, and it was, as I say, the biggest cliff to jump off of that I've ever experienced. I was a brand guy. I love that Remax cologne, and wore the Remax underwear, and so it was a big deal. But I quickly learned that it's really us that our clients are working with, not Remax. As I say facetiously, we could work for Dog Pile Realty and still prosper. It's
right.
It's us that they're doing.
I realized that early on. When I started my real estate career about 20 years ago.
Good for you. Wow.
I was with Windermere and Coldwell Banker, primarily worked in the condominium market when I first started off.
Yeah.
And with Windermere, and then went over to Coldwell Banker, where I transitioned into residential sales. And I realized shortly there what I was getting there. I was getting, a lot of experience in the office and everything. But I realized that I was paying a lot of money, and I was just working with my sphere of influence. So since then, I've been at smaller, more local companies. More recently was American Classic Homes Real Estate in Renton.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Smaller company, but it's about 20 agents. And, I like that I didn't have to pay as much, and I still had the support system. So I've been with the larger guys and with the smaller guys. But just recently, that company has been pretty much dissolved now, and it's into Keller Williams. In addition to Keller Williams, and there's things I like about it, and I hear some great things, but I like a lot of things about the business model I've heard about eXp so far.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So are you working with Pam in Federal Way? Is that the one?
I think Bill Allison, out of the Covington office.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with him. Okay.
Yeah. I was really interested in working out of the Berrien office, which is just a satellite, which is a part of Federal Way. So I'm not 100% sure. I just recently got my license transferred over about 2 weeks ago. So just around that side, haven't really plugged into it 100%. Sure. And I got an invoice today from them. I thought that was interesting. I haven't opened up to see how much it is, but
sure. No, I hear you. No, I think that's great. Well, what you'll find with eXp is, I don't know if it is to this day, but let's say about a year ago, about 60% of the eXp agents right now, they number probably 42,000. There's about 850 a week that are joining eXp, and about 50% of them were from the Keller Williams model. And I think a big part of the reason for that is that you have a revenue share model, based on franchise profitability. Let's say the Covington KW office, they take 50% of the franchise profit, and they dedicate it to agent just kind of agent attraction profit share.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other half goes to the owner of that franchise. And so I think that's why a lot of KW agents move over to eXp. Is they're seeing that, hey, I like that structure, but they're also seeing a supersized option on the eXp side, because when you get into franchise profitability, you may have 1 year where you're profitable, and you may have another year where you're not profitable. It's not a guarantee. Where at eXp, we're all on the same split. We're on an 80-20 split until we do $80,000 in gross commission income. and then we transfer over to a 100% commission model. So that 20% going to the house, eXp takes half of that, so $8,000, and they dedicate that to the agent attraction and the passive income opportunities for eXp agents. So it's guaranteed, versus based on profitability. So it's just kind of baked in there. So for instance, Michelle joined under me. So if Michelle caps at $80,000 in gross commission income, I would receive $2,800 from Michelle's efforts, and it would come out of that $16,000 that goes to eXp as the cap fee.
Yeah.
Just as if you're paying what $19,000 plus maybe $3,000 for a franchise fee or something or other. I think your cap's probably $23,000 ish.
Yeah, they did grandfather me in and used my old scale where I was with American Classic Homes for the first.
Okay.
I'm only paying $13,000, but
okay.
Yeah, that is generally what it is. $22,000 a year.
Yeah. Okay. And so then Michelle sponsored Mason. So Mason would be now on my second line, and if Mason capped, I would be receiving the $2,800 from Michelle's effort, not out of her pocket, but just out of her comp. And then I'd receive $3,200 out of Mason's activity.
Wow.
So versus if we look at the KW model, maybe you're making $100 or so. Oh, am I muted? Oh shoot! Can you hear me? Okay, Andrew?
There it is, back. It said my internet connection is a little unstable, so that could have been my fault. You're back.
Not a problem. So if we looked at the KW model, you might be making on average maybe $100 a year equivalent for those same efforts.
Yes, yeah, I saw that, and that made me really interesting. I saw the model there. But, I like that way it's set up for the recruitment side of it. I was also curious. I wanted to hear a little bit more about the corporate side. So before I got into real estate, I was kind of a business-to-business sales for a commercial printing company.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, that was I got my license back in 2001, so it was pretty much in the 90s when I was doing that work, and I really liked that corporate aspect of it and going into larger companies and building those relationships and that kind of thing. So tell me about it on that business-to-business side. I was kind of interested.
Yeah, that sounds good. Did you ever know Mike Boyle?
That name's not familiar.
Is it okay? Yeah, he was a commercial print salesperson for years and years.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's a good background to have. That's fun.
Yeah.
But
you go to corporate offices and do that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. You're wired for that. So that's awesome to hear. That's rare to hear. So, my story on that, Dorall, is that when I reinvented myself in 2005 as a residential real estate agent, I was literally nervous because I had been living out of town. I had just been living up in Vancouver, BC for the last 3 years. So my circle of influence had really dried up. I mean, some of my friends had passed away for various reasons. Others had moved out of the area, and it's kind of like, who am I going to sell real estate to? And so I was at Starbucks. It was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, looking out the window and saying, "Geez, I'm really screwed. Who am I going to sell real estate to?" and it finally dawned on me. I mean, literally just a little lightning strike that says, "Geez, it's 1 o'clock. Where are my clients?" Well, they're at work. So why don't I go and put initiatives together? And so when I was developing all these resort communities, I had the Vancouver Canucks, I had the Oakland Raiders, I had literally over a dozen professional sports teams that would sponsor my resort properties.
Oh, wow.
And so I had no trouble going, just like you just said, going business to business, sitting across the corporate table and, rapping with them. So I thought, man,
I got into the Seahawks before.
Oh, very good. Yeah, very good. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. And so I thought I'm just gonna put some initiatives together to go after corporate employees, and not from a relocation standpoint, because I hate pointing to the Space Needle and saying, do you want to live in Burien or Bothell? And like, hey, show me around for the next 3 days. I'm going to rent for a year and then make my decision. I'd rather watch paint dry. I mean, it's just like, I can't do, I can't do a lot of transactions in short order. So, looks like you froze up on me there.
Yeah, I can hear you fine, but I think you froze up. Now you're back. I'm still hearing you, but go ahead.
Okay, cool. So what I really focused on was how can I work with local employees that wanted to buy a home in Linwood or Burien or Bothell or whatever else. And so about a week later, I was playing golf up in Bothell, and I got matched up with the HR manager for Boeing. And talking with her in our round of golf, I said, do you guys have any real estate program for your employees? And she said, no, we've looked at a couple. Coldwell Banker was one that they had looked at but never executed. So I went back and put together a program for them, and then that's been in place to this day. So there's a gajillion transactions that happen each year with Boeing, and these are like, hey, I've got a home in Linwood. Can you come and sell it for me? I want to move to Mukilteo, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm about 60% of those buyers. About 60% of them are buyers, first-time buyers. Hey, I don't have an agent. I saw that. I saw your Home Advantage program on our internet site, and I've got 3 MLS numbers in hand. Can we go out and buy a home? And these guys are saying, if it's good enough for Boeing, it's good enough for me. Let's go
do it.
Buy a house. And they don't know me from Adam. I just say, hey, it's Jeff Dickinson. I'm the director of the Boeing Home Advantage real estate program. And, it's not an internet lead. These guys are teed up, ready to go. They're the kindest clients, equivalent to getting a referral from one of your friends or, past clients.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I learned fairly early on that I should really be concentrating on the small to medium-sized companies, the companies that have 50 to 1,000 employees. Because then I'm, and you may have found this out too in your journey with these corporates that, I want to go in and be a one and done. I don't want this to be a big committee and like you're taking a year to decide whether you're going to work with me or not. I just want to, just like you and I are talking, Dorall, this is my program. It's no cost to your employees. The program's designed to save your employees $5,000 or more a year. You've got 300 employees. That's $1.5 million at no cost to you. And what we're doing is we're teaching financial and health wellness. We're promoting home ownership. And it's going to be through a combination of periodic newsletters, of lunch and learn sessions. And these guys are saying, well, where do I sign up?
Yeah.
And so what I find is that when I'm in that 50 to 1,000 employee population, I will do one transaction per year for every 100 employees that I have under management. so it's a very predictable model. It's great to wake up on January 1st every year and say, I've got 3,000 employees under, 6 different companies. I've got 30 built-in transactions each year. And it just happens to be another 30, maybe not the same one. And so it's really like doing a residential. Didn't hear you there, Dorall.
Are you back? Okay, hold on. I see it's red now. There it goes, back. I guess it just kind of goes up and down. I don't know what is causing it, but it seems to be fine right now. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
Yeah. So that's very interesting. So is that your system then, or is that part of eXp?
No, it's my system, and I teach hundreds of other eXp agents each month on how to do it.
Oh, that's class on Sunday or on Tuesday morning.
Next Wednesday morning actually.
Oh,
yeah, will be a session, and we can get you in there to listen to that session. I've got it recorded too. I can send it to you. But I've got a fully templated program, and it's kind of one of these deals that I can be talking to 100 agents, and everybody's kind of rah, hey, I want to do this, everything else, and I'm probably only talking to 3, that will actually put it together. So.
Okay. Yeah.
So I love it that you've got this background, like, man, just point me in a corporate. So.
Yeah, I thought, that was really interesting because, I do kind of miss that. I love real estate. I love selling real estate.
Yeah.
I miss the corporate side of it, the everyday, the building the relationships, and you're not starting over, every time, that kind of thing. So.
That's really what it's all about. In fact, with all, I'm assuming with all the relationships that you have formed over the years, that would be a no-brainer to go back in and say, hey, I'm still alive. And second, hey, I'm just kind of, I'm kind of doing another angle here, and I was just thinking of you, and you guys have 180 employees, and I thought this would be a really good fit. And the cool part is that I can be your account administrator.
Yeah.
And so it's really So I've got to learn to read lips.
I hear you guys. I can hear you now.
Okay, there you are.
Yeah, geez. Okay, let's that link when you get a chance.
Yeah. I'll send you that. I'll send you that information because it sounds like you just eat that up like nothing else, which is cool. Yeah. And there's virtually no one else doing what I'm doing in our marketplace.
That's great. Yeah.
And there's hundreds and hundreds of companies that could use, especially now with COVID and a lot of distress out there that can use our program. So.
Yeah. I was curious about that with COVID now. I guess, how are you working around meeting up with people and, with HR one-on-one, I guess, just like we are doing right here?
That's exactly right. So what's happening, Dorall, is that, these HR managers are working out of their bedroom, their home office. And I swear that, because they don't have Sally and John walking in their office and saying, hey, chitty chat and all that kind of stuff, these guys have an extra couple hours on their hand every day. And they're looking for interaction to talk to other people. So they're all too happy to take a Zoom call right now. So I'm getting great traction right now.
Oh, great. That's good to hear.
And, these guys operate, there's, I haven't found a company yet that doesn't have some intranet site where they're communicating with the rest of their employees. So we can just send our messages down their channel. They can take Zoom lunch and learns. So it's just, we just have to adapt to our new world.
Yeah. I have some great connections at T-Mobile, but is that something a little too large?
It is. Yeah. It is a little bit large. A few years ago, I talked to Mike Morgan. He was like the CFO over there. I grew up with him, and And he said, hey, I like your concept, but we've got 40,000 employees. 25,000 of those employees are sitting at 1,250 shopping malls, and it's just like, if we can't offer it to one, we can't offer it to all. Kind of, or if we can't offer it to all, we can't offer it to one.
And that would be a lot of business.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Yeah. So it's really more really focusing on those small to medium sized, those small to medium sized companies. It's going into Kent, Washington, and getting into. You might be able to get into Blue Origin. They've got 3,000 or so employees now. Bezos company. And that's a possibility. There's a winglet manufacturing company there with 550 employees. So aerospace is good. Technology, medical. You want to find companies where the average person can buy or sell real estate. We're not going to help the Chick-fil-A, employees or things like that. So, so I've got a 4-part education session that's about 6 hours long that just gives you an A to Z. And I would be personally happy, just like I've invited Mr. Colin Mason, I would be very happy to go in and give the presentation for you. Set that company up for you.
Oh, that company set up that way, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then I think in short order you'd be able to do it yourself.
Yeah, no, I definitely would love that at first, is to have some support in the beginning, so I got more familiar with something like that.
Right. Yeah. So aside from my database, and aside from doing a couple home buyer education classes each week these days, all of my clients are coming from the corporate world, and they just regentrify themselves. They just kind of keep coming at it, and they're just saying, hey, if it's good enough for the widget company, it's good enough for me. Let's go buy or sell a house. So I'm not competing. They're not saying, oh, Jeff, you're one of 5 agents, that I'm interviewing. I've got Windermere, John Scott, KW coming over. It's extremely rare when I'm even competing. It's more, hey, Jeff, can you come over next Tuesday and list my house?
Yeah.
And I do that 35 times a year.
Okay.
Yeah. And, pretty sweet deal from there. What kind of transaction volume are you doing, Dorall?
So I really have not been going very gangbusters at all. I've been typically anywhere from 10 to 12 is where I've kind of been, and then since I've been doing more, spending more time remodeling and kind of flipping houses a little bit.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, less than that. But that has always been and still is my bread and butter as far as the real estate thing. And I've, now with the transitioning out of one company to another, I want to spend more, pinpoint. I like to do more business in the real estate, basically.
Yeah.
Make money before I really love to flip houses and do that, but you really have to have the money to do so.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, that's what I say. I love, it's a big Lego set to me. I just wish I could figure out how to make money at it.
Big money at what?
At flipping.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, buy a house, and then it takes me a year to flip it.
Yeah, and that's the way I'm doing it. I'm not I say flipping, but I keep it for 2 years, and I have now, I have a renter in there, and I'm not even living there now. But I in the future I want to spend. I like to flip houses and keep them as. Next time I will keep it as rentals, kind of. That's how I'm going to build up my retirement from there.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I think that's a great way to. I think that's a great way to do it. And then with eXp, what's been refreshing. So when I moved over. when I moved over to eXp, this agent attraction thing didn't really resonate with me. I just want to put my blinders on, do my 50, 60 transactions a year. And it took me about a half a year to figure out, after talking to some others that had 400 or more in their downline, and they had only personally sponsored like 10 to 15 people.
3 people, yeah. Get the right people, yeah.
Right, exactly. And then the rest just takes care of itself. Like right now, Michelle and Mason are, coming on with a vengeance, and I could probably sit with a Corona beer in my hand and just watch it happen and reap some rewards over time. So, it gets to a point where, the organization builds with or without you. But it's nice to be able to have that passive income. So, you've got your real estate, practice, you've got your flipping practice. Now you've got this passive income opportunity. And, for me, it's been worth hundreds of thousands of dollars over the last 3 years, through various means. Doing, you can, I think what we could do is we could take your 10 or 12 transactions. We need to figure out how to do another probably 10 to 15 for you, and then you become what's called an icon agent. Then you get all your $16,000 in cap money back.
Oh yeah.
And so, and it comes back to you in the form of public stock. But that public stock has been going like a rocket ship. My first $16,000 award is now worth $130,000.
Wow. Yeah.
Because of the stock appreciation. So that's kind of cool. I wake up and say, well, geez, Remax didn't do that for me.
No.
So, so when Glenn Sanford designed the company back in 2009, really at the low point of the economy, he was with KW. He had a huge mega team in multiple states, and his program kind of imploded on him. So he went back and said, "Hey, I'm gonna just invent a new brokerage model. I'm going to be very agent-centric. What can I do for the agent? How can we create passive income for agents? How can we create a retirement plan? Because otherwise, when we're done, we're done. I mean, if you stop doing your transactions, we're done."
That's why I say you're always starting over.
You are. It is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're always unemployed until we get the next one. So, and so he just grabbed attributes from a number of different models and put them together, and it's really been pretty brilliant. I mean, I've been in awe of we now have a $6.5 billion market capitalization, larger than all the other brokerage brands combined in the United States, and growing, very technology centric, very, very communicative, very collaborative. These are things that I just didn't have at Remax. A plethora of education. I mean, you can get hundreds of hours of live education each week now. You can get historic education, self-paced modules, and whether you have a beginning agent or you've been around forever and you want to learn how do I residential farm? Well, there's all sorts of information on that to dig into, or like yesterday, another agent that I collaborate with every once in a while. He's in Chicago. His name is Brian Ernst. He started doing these home seller education sessions, getting your home ready for sale. And so he's helping me develop a program, in Seattle here where I can take his information and we can start doing some Eventbrite in hour and a half education sessions attract home sellers and,
Oh.
to teach them how to, get top dollar and get their home ready for sale. So, if I went to Remax with that, I would just be shut down. I mean, no, give me, any information on that. So pretty cool from that, from that standpoint. So,
Yeah. I guess 34 transactions. How are you able to do that by yourself, or do you have a team behind you?
I do call on a couple of people periodically to, if I have to be in, in Federal Way and Everett at the same time, I'll take one of those, and then I'll have a showing agent help me with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to share transactions now, like on a 50-50 basis, saying, hey, I've got this corporate client, they need to buy a home in Federal Way. I live in Kirkland. And so, hey, Dorall, you're down there. Here, let's share this client and run with it, and we'll just double team them.
Yeah.
And share the fruits of that. But the other side is that these are corporate employees, so these guys are teed up, ready to go. There's no incubation needed. It's not like, hey, you came into my ecosystem at 3 a.m. because you couldn't sleep, last night, and that you need credit assistance, and you're a year away from making a purchase offer. These guys are teed up, ready to go. So they're usually in and out of my ecosystem within let's just say 30 days.
Okay.
So you can kind of stack them up and just get them through. So I'm able to do. Some months I'm able to do like 12 transactions. Other months I'm doing, 4 or 5 usually.
Mm-hmm.
On that, but it all seems to even out, and a good mixture of buy and sell, pretty evenly balanced for me these days.
Okay.
On that, I was pretty buyer centric when I started in 2006, and then it's been balancing out the last 3-4 years.
Yeah. It's just sellers right now. Seller market's pretty good right now, of course.
It is. Yeah. It's tough to be a buyer.
Yeah.
It's brutal. Really brutal on that.
Dorall.
Yeah.
Hey, Dorall, would you be interested? That's why I was asking you where you live, because I had heard Jeff saying that he's got some Tacoma clients, and which is quite a distance for him. So that's why we were thinking, like, oh, I wonder where Dorall lives, in case he was interested in helping Jeff take on some of his clients, so he can have more time to help us building the business and training agents.
That's what my main thing is. I need clients, so I would love to help. Yes.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. No, that sounds good. Yeah, we can definitely plug you into that, and then on this corporate affinity client generation program. I've got that 4-part series, and I can send that to you. I'll probably do a session on that week after next, probably around the 15th of February.
Okay.
I know that Michelle has a number of people that want to attend. I've got some others that want to attend, and I'll just do, a Zoom, about an hour and 15-minute Zoom meeting 4 times, to go over the various aspects and just go A to Z. But one of the things that's really important is that corporate affinity is really about who you know that knows. And it's kind of like having that, that pen and piece of paper with you at all times, and just be thinking as you're going through life. You're in the shower and say, oh, yeah, Johnny Jones, I remember him, he's got 125 employees in wherever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tequila or something rather.
Yeah.
So you're making a target list of key employees of business owners and managers, because they're going to help you do the heavy lifting on making an appointment with the HR manager. You know, you're not going to be calling straight out to that HR manager unless you've got a relationship with them. But you know, you and I would be sitting down with Sally, you know, your key employee person that you know, and saying, hey, you know, I just want to share this with you. Do you think your company would have an interest in this financial wellness program? It's no cost, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I know that she'll get excited about it. And then she says, yeah, you know, I've got, you know, I know Mary, the HR manager, really well. Let me set up a meeting with you. And that's how we do it. And she'll set up a 15, 20-minute meeting that, of course, will be an hour long by the time we get out of there. And then she'll be able to make a decision on the spot whether she likes the program or not. This program that I've developed, it's all it's a nonprofit organization, so you know it's not a for-profit organization. So these guys have their barriers down. You know, we're not sitting here trying to sell you anything. Mm-hmm. It's an Education at Work foundation, and then what we want to do too is make a target list of some professional partners to help you. This would include like Edward Jones or Ameriprise agents, you know, financial wellness people. This would be chiropractors to deliver health wellness. This would be mortgage reps. You know, I'm sure you've got a number of mortgage reps that you work with. Right. And then
title reps. No?
Yeah, you can do title. I'm thinking I'm thinking more like an attorney.
Oh.
You know, so you have an attorney, they can come in and do maybe a identity theft seminar, or they could do make a will, you know, estate planning seminar, you know, things like that. But all these people have these spheres of influence, just like you. You know, I mean, you know, 250 people. They know 250 people. Now you've got 1,250 people in this pod that you've created. You know, there's no reason that there can't be 40, 50 key contact people, and you're going to easily find 6 companies to work with out of that. You know, probably just between aunts and uncles and, you know, friends and brothers and sisters and things like that. So I've got this fully templated out. So it's a pretty sequential way of going about it, and I've just focused on it for 16 years now, and it just worked extremely well.
Okay.
Yeah, for me. So yeah.
Actually, yeah, Jeff, easy. I actually forwarded your training materials, that 4-part series, to Dorall, and because Dorall's background has so much background in corporate, working with corporations and small companies. Dorall, do you have did you get a chance to look through it much? I was just wondering, maybe you can get started in it sooner with Jeff's help, you know, just because you're going to be a lot faster than most of us, you know, so I was like, maybe you're...
I did go to the one with the training that was telling about the system and eXp and everything. I guess I need to go through and see if there's another one that has more about the Jeff Dickinson's system.
Sure.
I remember seeing that part.
Yeah, you got it. And I can help you out on that one, Dorall. I'm going to kind of go through my library and see what I have. You know, I've given a number of sessions at the eXp convention over the years, and the shareholders convention. These were held in the physical world, you know, at a resort or whatever. So I'll have some 45-minute sessions on that, hour-long sessions. So I'll go into the basement and we'll see what I can dig up on that, and I'll get that over to you, Michelle and Mace. I'll get that over to you guys, so that you have that. But here to help any way I can on the client generation. It's I literally wake up every day saying that I'm in the client generation business, you know, not real estate. right?
Yeah.
And I think you've got the same MO.
Yeah. If I would have stuck with that more, I'd probably be better off.
Yeah. Well, it's not too late.
Yeah.
It's a focus thing. So that's the easy part. On the eXp side, it's a pretty cool model. There's a lot of little strings attached as far as not negatively, but there's a lot of technology, a lot of passive income opportunities, and I think it's a matter of what can we provide you from that side to say, okay, hey, I know the KW model. Here's the eXp model. What's compelling for me to make a move, and it should be all about you, right?
Yeah, no, I've been looking at this too, and it's so far it just it seems to be everything seems to be pointing to eXp because of everything you mentioned, the commission structure. I like that the recruit side of it. I know some great agents that will probably see the benefits as well. So I like that part.
Yeah, and again, it was a part that wasn't really intriguing to me, but now, I see, I've got, thousands of dollars coming in each month and growing, and it's kind of like, wow, that's kind of cool. That's not a bad deal. It pays the mortgage. It pays, some bills, and then, you can take, if you want, it's voluntary. You can take 5% of your commission income and you can buy company stock at a 10% discount. So I've been doing that. That's adding up to about, $30,000 a year.
And you can elect it where they take it right out of the 10% out of your commission, or 5%.
Right. Yeah, 5% out of your commission. Yeah. So that so that's nice. That's kind of a nice forced savings plan. Just sock it away, sight unseen, and so that's added up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then, we talked about the Icon Agent deal. So the Icon Agent program, there's about 1,000 of us out of 40,000 agents that what happens is you cap in your anniversary year, which, is about 2.6 million in sales, right? Yes. And then you do another 20 transactions on top of that. So it doesn't matter if you're selling a $1,000 manufactured home or, a $1 billion home. A transaction's a transaction. So you do the next 20 transactions within your anniversary year, and then you become an Icon agent. And this is where you then get your $16,000 in your cap fee back in the company stock.
Right.
At the then strike price. And our stock has gone from $6 a share at this time to like $97 a share right now. It's just been on a rocket ship this year.
Yeah.
And then it will split. The stock will split as of February 16th, so it'll go down to maybe 45 or 50 a share.
Yeah. If you already have them and they split, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And so it's just so there's just some really great passive income opportunities there. You've got some really good collaboration to help you attract agents. So you're not alone in that. And you've got great support from Mason and Michelle, from me, from all the way up to Glenn Sanford, the founder, who is kind of the direct line to me. He's just right above me. We also have Ron Hartman, who is the state managing broker. So he's one that I brought on about a half year after I joined.
Okay.
Great resource. Pretty good lineage there. I think a pretty good support system there to help you grow. The other side is that eXp is one of 5 test companies, kind of beta companies for Facebook with their workplace program. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Workplace is the business equivalent to Facebook. And so it's a closed system. So every eXp agent becomes a member of this. And so we get tons of referrals from it. You might get a West Virginia agent that says, hey, I need a Seattle agent. And, you just, collaborate back and say, hey, yeah, I'm in so-and-so. I'd be happy to help your customer. We talked about my listing presentation needs a spruce up. Ooh, you're going to be sent a bunch of listing presentations from all over the country. And it's a great way to communicate. It's not like Facebook where you're trying to, tell them, hey, I'm on vacation or doing whatever. This is more of a business, centric type of a thing. There's a number of groups. This is where my corporate affinity education group is.
Okay.
And so you can go on to that. You can become a member of that. There's about 500 members right now and growing. And this is where you can get a plethora of education information on how to do it. And but you and I could be bantering back and forth in Workplace as well.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of the glue that keeps us all together. And so I'm in Workplace once a day. Just bantering back and forth with these dozens and dozens of agents across the country on all sorts of different initiatives. You'd be asked a question or you throw out a question, and so there's just a lot of collaboration. That's why Facebook chose eXp, because there's just so much collaboration, so much interaction. So it's not just like you're the lone wolf out there at KW or whatever. So yeah.
And the workspace is something that you have to be invited to, or just
correct. Yeah, it's a closed system. So once you're onboarded with eXp, you just naturally be a member of that of that Workplace group. So so this wouldn't be a source where you would say, hey, I've got my best buddy, and I'm going to just collaborate with them through Workplace. This would be more like you and I, or you and Michelle, or the other 40,000 agents and growing in the eXp universe. So it'd be our intranet site. On that, any kind of questions that come to mind, Dorall, at all that I can get answers, or we can get answers for you?
Not that I can think of at the moment. I know that I want to go over the information that Michelle sent me to kind of go over that more. There's a lot of stuff there. I didn't go over it all, but I got a good overview of eXp, the commission structure, the cost, initiating costs, and those kind of things.
Yeah, how is that comparing to KW? What are you experiencing with KW on a? So you had mentioned your 13,000 cap. Are you on an 80-20 or 70-30?
It is the 80-20. I'm currently it's kept the same plan that I was on, which I was on of American Classic Homes for the last 8 years, pretty much. It's the 80-20 at 13,000.
Okay. At 13,000.
They're only doing it for a year, and then next year I'll be going back to their 20,000.
Okay, so it's just kind of a ramp up time. Yeah. Okay. No, very good. Yeah. No, good for you. And then, how about on a monthly basis? Are you paying any fees to KW?
Well, that's what I'm just finding out. I knew that was going to be coming, but I was just surprised that it's being this way. I didn't open it up yet, but I believe it's like $75, $100 a month.
Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of in line. We're at 85. For that, and then part of that is your technology fee. So that's giving you your own KV Core CRM account. I don't know if you're familiar with KV Core. It kind of came from the old Conversion. It's almost like a Boomtown type of a system. It has the IDX built in, but it's a very comprehensive client generation system that you can put your database in. Very very home listing oriented. People want to look at listings. A lot of automation. You've got BombBomb built in. You've got different, pretty automated.
Yeah, I was Keller Williams have something similar to that. I was getting
right, exactly. Yeah, and this would normally cost an agent about $500 or $600 a month, so it's just baked into every eXp agent.
Okay.
On that, so that's included in your $85 a month. I'm assuming over at KW you're a realtor as well, so you've got your
realtor. Yeah, I've learned that.
Yeah.
That's something you guys do as well.
It is, yeah. eXp chose to be a realtor. I'm not. It's not the. It's not the bill that I enjoy paying every.
What are you paying for?
Exactly. Yeah.
You just have
But if I paid it there for a year, I guess it would transfer over. If I did.
It would. Yeah. It would be. Yeah. It would transfer over. So yeah, that's not a. Yeah, that's not a problem there. So it sounds like we're within a fairly narrow band of on the finance side. It doesn't sound like we're really upsetting the apple cart on your side. No,
it doesn't. And if it's about I like the opportunities and getting business is so that's where I'm at now.
Yeah.
But I know there's a lot out there to be had, and it's like I have it.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, no, I think you'll find with doing some agent attraction and finding other agents that want to come on board with you, that you'll be able to make some pretty good monthly passive income on that. Buying the company stock if that makes sense.
Definitely.
And then my whole mantra is that how can I help you generate another 6 to 12 transactions a year, especially using this corporate affinity program. And then when we get you stabilized on that, let's teach the agents that you bring on board how to do it as well, and just keep it going. So yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I think that's the best. I think that's the best. Yeah. What do you guys see as the next step here, Michelle? Michelle, are you with us?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Dorall, did you kind of have any kind of questions, or what do you think is a good next step? In terms of either the eXp side of things or the corporate side affinity program.
Yeah, I'd like to find out a little bit more about the corporate side, and I guess I just wanted to do whatever due diligence as far as looking into it. But I think I like everything I see so far. So
it's a pretty cool. Yeah, it's a pretty cool opportunity.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you. Yeah, you have to have your aha moment and say, yeah, this is I'm ready to parachute in.
Yeah, and for me, it's kind of like I was in the middle of a transition anyway, and I really wasn't 100% excited where I was going. It was they're working out a few things. I was interested in getting plugged in and learning more about the systems and everything they had there.
Right. Yeah.
I did like the satellite office in Burien because that was kind of nice if I needed that. But it doesn't offer any of the profit sharing, that part, and the corporate side I like as well.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, I totally agree with you there. No, that sounds perfect. So what I can do is I will bottle up some corporate affinity information for you, because what I'd love to do is have you over the next week start putting together a list of who you know that knows, key employees, business owners, managers, names of companies that you have interacted with, and and then if you have any chiropractor or Edward Jones or Ameriprise financial wealth people that even mortgage reps that you work with, I'd love to start collaborating with you and just really have you prioritize that list with who would jump off of if I asked them like low hanging fruit that I'm going to do anything if Dorall asks me to do something, I'm gonna go do it, to the more difficult spectrum, right? And if we can get you some early success, then that just really plants the foundation that you can build off of, and prosper. So I would welcome that opportunity to work with you on that, and see if we can't get some corporate accounts going for you, and start generating some more clients.
Right. And that excites me. I realize that will be the smaller ball, the ball rolling. It wouldn't happen overnight, kind of thing. But I do like that getting it going. I guess the first thing I just wanted to look into a little bit more and feel more comfortable about making a decision and going from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else that we can be providing you on the eXp side of things? I think that Michelle, you got Dorall that 99-page magazine. Is that?
Oh, no. You mean the interactive magazine?
Yeah.
I haven't forwarded that one to him yet. Should we forward that to him?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm about to get a membership for that, so then at least my smiling face will be on that.
Yes,
on that deal.
That's a good idea.
There's a company in Florida that has made kind of a business out of putting together it's like a 100-page interactive magazine. You can turn to like page 17, and maybe there's going to be Glenn Sanford talking about how he formed eXp, or one that explains the compensation plan, or our international expansion, how the 7 levels of passive income works. So you could probably spend hours kind of devouring that. But I found it to be a pretty good one-stop shop where I could just take in the plethora of information at my pace, and then it might prompt some questions, and probably our next step would be to get back on a Zoom sometime next week, and in the meantime, if there's any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me.
Okay. Yeah.
Happy to get you.
And maybe Dorall, don't pay any fees that you don't have to at your existing firm. Because the onboarding process was really fast and smooth, and when we got to talk to Ron Harmon, the state broker, he was so helpful, and he's like actively doing his own business, but he's so helpful on the brokerage side. So he was helping we have a broker owner friend in Seattle, and he helped her with questions. So yeah, she had paid some fees, and she's like, oh no, but I'm like, I think it'll be okay, but try not to pay too many fees, Dorall, in case you could save it, make it easier to transition to eXp.
I'll figure it out this week.
That sounds good. So yeah, definitely, readily available help. I'm just so thrilled. I love your background. I love your demeanor. And,
thank you.
I'd love to go out and do some damage with you.
Yeah, definitely. If you need help in the South, then let me know.
I will. Yeah, no, I definitely am gonna call on you on that.
You want us to maybe, Dorall, I could check in with you and Jeff's schedule for like maybe the end of the week, of this week, to kind of schedule us another follow up, and we can see where you're at. But if you want to get going on that corporate affinity, just writing the list of, names, like in that first session, I think he had that information about creating your list, because then Jeff can help kind of go through that, because I'm working on that too, and trying to get a head start on it. So at least that'll kind of get the ball rolling. And also, if you start thinking of agent names, like you said, like some great agents, like it will be good if we can, when after maybe when we have another follow up, we could go through that list and kind of help you create a plan on how can we reach out to them, as well as just getting you going, most importantly, in personal production, getting your personal business up. Because the thing that I found is that, a lot of people like Mason, I never heard of eXp. But then as I was sharing it with some of, our top agent friends, some of them have heard about it like a year or 2 years ago, but for whatever reason, it wasn't the right timing. And now they're like, oh man, I should have done something when the stock was only $6 a share, but now more and more people are hearing about it. So Mason, I kind of work with a bit of urgency of like, let's just tell, at least we want the people that we know to hear about it first from us, and do good follow-up with them, and just keep them posted on what we're learning, and, getting involved with the company, so that if they hear about from someone else, they'll be like, you know what, Dorall told me about it first. And I like Dorall's demeanor, and I like the feel of Jeff's team, and the Jeff's mentoring and like client generation, because I think that is so important, is that it's really about helping agents be successful and having that collaboration. So you're not alone, because Keller Williams has tons of great training, but if you're trying to navigate that, it's like on your own, you still feel kind of isolated, and like, where do I start? How do I really get my business going? And I feel like with eXp and Jeff's system, like we really can help agents who really want to work hard and get going, like really get started. So yeah, if you start on those steps, and then we'll send you some more information, so that maybe, and then the end of the week we could set something up, and then go from there.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, no, that sounds good. Well, yeah, thank you, Dorall and Michelle, so much for taking the time, and looking forward to meeting you in person, Dorall, and welcoming you on board, and working with you. So that's exciting.
Yeah, thank you for your time. It's very good information.
Yeah, my pleasure. And I will. I'll put a care package together here this weekend and ship it off to both of you guys. I'll rummage around the basement to see what I can find.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Dorall. Have a great weekend.
Okay.
All right, you guys talk soon.
Okay, sounds good, you guys. Take care. Okay, bye.